yikes, I have to catch up on my YouTube. There's several dozen videos that I want to watch that I haven't watched yet, and there's dozens of comments that I haven't read yet on my videos. But that all being said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and flash this because, yes, I think silver is definitely a great part of an investment strategy, regardless if someone is a stacker or not a stacker. And here's some mint direct things. And I've showed this before, and I've also said that I don't want to break the seal because I like the idea of being not touched by human hands. It also demonstrates personal discipline, that I have the discipline where I can invest in something and not have to open it and fondle it and touch it. It's like this is me showing restraint by me not wanting to look at these beautiful big coins. So the topic I want to talk about is something that maybe my investment friends can have some insights for me. So when you watch YouTube about investing, a lot of people have the technical analysis, they have the chart thing, they have all these things for investments, whether it's silver or whether it's stocks or real estate, right? You get the people, they got their math and their stats and, you know, the stuff like this and da-da-da-da-da. But when I got into silver, when I first got into silver, these things had nothing to do with why I got into silver. I got into silver because I saw there was a social trend coming. I saw the human side of the market. When I got into silver, it was a human thing. It was a psychology thing. I said, wow, this stuff's going to take off because of what's happening in the banks, the economy, the news. And what was happening there really had nothing to do with technical analysis. And it actually had nothing to do with what the so-called fundamentals were. It was the fact that I said, hey, a lot of people are going to want to buy silver. And a lot of people did buy silver. And of course, a lot of people sold silver. But the price of silver now is still higher than when I first said, hey, this silver's going to be a big thing. So I was operating like I'm a, quote, visionary, although I wouldn't dare call myself a visionary, because people who claim they're visionaries often are not. They're often like snake oil salesmen saying, I'm a visionary, so you better follow me. Or they don't say better, they try and entice you with this, I'm a visionary thing, and that, I don't know about that. But anyhow, I saw there was going to be a social trend with silver, and I was right. I am very often right on these social trend things. For example, with like the Furbies. When the Furbies first came out, I said that's going to take off, and it did. And the Furbies became a fad. I was first on the fad for Smurfs, for like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When I was a kid, I was very good at spotting like, quote, fads for what's going to be popular. But I didn't know how to invest in those things. So now that I'm an adult, I do spot like trends and fads, but I often spot it and then don't take action, and then it comes and it goes. Or, you know, I might have had bad timing. To make a long story short, I see a social change coming in the nature of tattoos. When I grew up as a teenager in the 80s, tattoos were there, but it was like a niche thing, right? You had people who had tattoos. It was a certain niche, right? And those people had tattoos, and they had nice tattoos and all that, and whatever, but it wasn't a mainstream thing. It was in the early 90s, when I was in college, this tattoo thing entered pop culture. I say pop culture as in like mass media, mainstream culture. Like in the 80s, of course, there were tattoo magazines, there were tattoo conventions. You have people serious about tattoos, and those people will always have tattoos and so forth, and they've got their thing down well. But then when it became mainstream, you have people who before didn't have tattoo personalities now have tattoos. And I think there's going to be a social change where a lot of these people who have tattoos want to get them removed. I mean, I think we've all seen the internet memes of bad tattoos where they show pictures of really bad tattoos where you have blatant spelling errors, you have mistakes in the tattoos, you have, you know, just things that are like, whoa, what were they thinking tattoos? And also, too, is I think that in the mainstream culture at some point, there's going to be like a shift away from tattoos. And there was some segment I saw where Johnny Depp was on a show, and he had some tattoo on his hand, and the host was kind of like making fun of his tattoo, or the idea that Johnny Depp would get a tattoo. And to me, that was like a hint that, you know, maybe it's coming. Maybe the wave of, you know, tattoos going back to being a niche thing might be coming, or a niche thing, right? Might be coming. And a lot of like big celebrities like Johnny Depp, right? In the 80s, a Johnny Depp kind of guy wouldn't be walking around with a tattoo. You would have like, you know, like tough guys with tattoos that always have tattoos, like a tough guy thing. You have like, you know, Marine get a tattoo. You have certain segments, but you have like the soccer mom tattoo. I think that's going to go away, and I think these tattoo removal companies are going to be a huge explosion in price at some time. So I did some very brief research, and I found that CYNO, CYNO, is a company that does that. It's laser removal. And I'm looking at their stock, and it seems that their stock has followed the stock market trend in the last few years, but it hasn't exploded to the upside. And this is something I am not proficient in. I would not consider myself proficient in, so I'm not making any investments right now, and I'm not giving advice. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a way to invest in a coming tattoo removal trend. And if I have people out there who have insights, please tell me. Like someone like, you know, Josh Galt or Cosmos Gatto, or someone like even the Day Trade Show, or, you know, someone who has an insight on like on a tattoo removal company. Like, for example, Unilever. I was reading how Unilever has tattoo removal technology, but Unilever is so big that their tattoo removal segment wouldn't carry the whole monstrous company. I'm looking for companies where the tattoo removal would carry the company. Or sorry, the Apple investor. Of course, the Apple investor. I want you to include in this. But there may be several dozen people. If I left your name out, please don't be offended. I just top of my head. So what I'm saying is that I want to find companies that they'll do well, even if the broader market doesn't do well, because Unilever is a part of the broader market, and I could see, you know, tattoo removal taking off. But if there's a stock market pullback, it might not be good. And also, I'm looking for an investment point too, of like when to get in, but I haven't taken action yet. So thanks for watching, and I hope you can teach me something.